Hi everyone, Leanne here from Jaded Blossom, and I've got a quick card design for you today. I'll be using a few Jaded Blossom things here. I'll be using the Halloween banner dies, the little bats. I'll be using the Halloween dies, that word spooky. I'm also using Halloween treats too. I'll be kind of cutting out a stamp for you today because I wanted to, change how it's used. And, it doesn't hurt them. You can cut the stamps and put them back together. I'm also using the Halloween scenic dies, that one with the spooky house. And I believe, and my stitched and scalloped square dies. Those are the two there. And that's about it. So that's what I'm planning to use today for this card design. This is mostly, and a stitch circle die. Okay, so here's my sentiment. It says, have yourself a horribly happy Halloween. And I want to remove the horribly happy, and I'm going to be saying, have yourself a spooky Halloween. So I'm just taking my EK Success scissors. And those are the non-stick blades. They don't have to be non-stick, but I just find these are nice and precise. And I'm just cutting out the part of the stamped image that I do not want. So you just want to be careful. You don't want to get any of the raised areas. You want to get sort of cut in the ditch, as it were. And you can easily line these back up again, no problem. And I find that it makes the stamps more versatile if you can, you can sort of make your own sentiment. So you won't be, sort of stuck in a hole with the way to use it. There's the spooky die cut that I'll be putting in between the sentiments. There we go. So that's what I was going for. This is basically all a card that's made completely with die cutting in one stamp. So now I am taking a piece of Paper Tray Ink's Smoky Shadow cardstock, and that is cut at 8.5 by 4 1/4, and I'm scoring it at 4 1/4. So we'll have a 4 1/4 inch square card, and I'll be, I like it vertical, so it'll be a vertical fold. And I'm also, it fits in all of my A2 sized envelopes also, so, it's cheaper to do it that way. You don't want to put it in a square envelope, it costs more. So there is my piece of paper from Doodlebug that I'm using. I'm adding it to the background of my card with my ATG tape. Now, I'm not sure if I show you the package of paper that this came from, but I'm using Bouville. And most of the patterns came from Bouville except for one. So there we are. So I'm just adhering that to my background. And now I've got a piece. This is called Starry Night, and it's actually thicker, and it has like some flocking on it with the stars. So I cut that out with my stitch square die, and I'm just applying that onto my scalloped square die, sorry guys, right in the center, trying to line it up using, like I said, my ATG gun again. And there we go. So that's what I'm doing. So what I did here was I cut out the black stitch square die using Paper Tray Ink's black cardstock. I cut that out, and then I laid my die cutting, my little scenic background over that stitch square die, and then I cut it again. Now that is my circle that I had, and I'm using that like as a moon behind my my scenic background. And that paper is the sunflower cardstock. That's the Jewel. It's from the Jewel Tones Doodlebug 8.5 by 11 inch textured card pack. So that's what I'm doing. So now I'm going to be stamping my sentiment onto my my little background piece. I'm using my Misty, using my anti-static powder tool, sweeping it off with my Nuvo sweeper brush. And now I'm using Ink on 3's Juicy Ink, and I'm going to be stamping that sentiment. So what I did was I have both sentiments, and I have a gap in the middle where I'm going to be putting down my my spooky die cut word. So this is a super easy card. It's nice and flat, easy to mail. Fun to send out for Halloween. I'm not sure if you're a Halloween card person, but Now I'm using, like I said, my Misty. That is just a dry eraser board eraser, just so you get even pressure. That's a little trick from Jennifer McGuire. I'm using my Ranger Fine Detail White Embossing Powder, and I'm applying that to my inked images. or my ink sentiment, sorry, over a coffee filter, just so I could filter it back in the container. And there we go. It's super easy peasy. Now I'm going to use my Marvy heat tool and just sort of heat it up and melt my powder. You want to keep on melting until there's no more grittiness there. It's, like I said, super easy peasy. And there we go. Now it, like, you know, I used the lines on my Misty itself to line this up as straight as I could get it. And yeah, and then I, you know, made sure to slip my spooky die cut in between to make sure it fit, and it did. So yeah, so that's how I came up with it, with my sentiment. You know, you can alter any of your sentiments this way. It's super fun and easy. You know, you can make different sentiments that way also, right? So, you know, more use for all those stamps that you have. So there we go. So now I'm just brushing off the extra powder, and I'll be adding that to the front of my card with my ATG gun again. Now, first I'm going to apply some ATG to the back of this little page, and then that'll allow me to line up my moon where I want it. I wanted the, you know, the yellow to kind of peek through the windows also, you know, and it'll help it stand out from the, you know, starry background paper. And that's what I was going for. So I'm just going to line it up. It's not all stuck down at this point. So, so that's about it. So I'm just lining that up to make sure it's all centered and looks good. And there we go. And I'm not going to stick down that scenic, the scenic cutout. I kind of like the way it's kind of popping up by itself. So I'm leaving that alone. So here we are. Now I'm adding that spooky die cut to the to my little sentiment using a Zig 2-way glue pen and my EK Success reverse tweezers, just so I can hold on to it and get it on there straight. And that's that. So super easy peasy, like I said before, nothing hard. I try not to make everything, not everything has to be so difficult. You know, you can just make things for the fun of it and enjoy yourself. So that's what I was doing with this card. I love to make a Halloween card. It's lots of fun. So here we are. So now I'm going to be applying this whole thing to my card base. And like I said, it's all pretty flat, right? I haven't really popped up anything. So, you know, the dimension will just be from, you know, that scenic die kind of popping up on its own. I'm just checking to make sure that I have the opening of that envelope in the right, or opening of that card in the right direction, because I've done that before where you stick down the front, you realize it's like upside down or something. It's not good. It's not good. So there I am. I'm just sort of fluffing it forward a little bit. And I really like how that looks. So these are the bats and a ghost from the Halloween banner dies. And what I did is I took an EK Success 3/8 of an inch circle punch. And I punched out a piece of black cardstock. And now I'm applying that black cardstock just behind the eyes and the mouth, just so, you know, I can pop this little guy up. And, you know, look at, he's got a little mouth and eyes now. That's what I was going for. So this is really the only dimension on the card, is my little critters on the card. So I'm adding the ghost and the bats with Stampin' Up's dimensionals, the tiny ones. And there we go. You'll notice that I'm working on that Stampin' Up pad again. I tend to use that when I'm filming a video because it's, you know, you don't get the shine from my favorite Tonic Studios Tim Holtz glass mat. And that's what I'm trying not to blind you guys, you know, watching my videos. So there we are. There's a little ghost. How cute is that? It'll also help hold down that scene that I have going there. And now I'm going to add the bats. I had to cut those mini dimensionals in half. And I'm just putting a little piece in the center just so, you know, the wings can sort of flap up on their own and, you know, give it a unique little look there. And I'm going to be using my EK Success reverse tweezers to put those down on my card, just because it's hard to, you know, make sure things are straight and even and stuff like that when your hands are blocking the view. So that's why I tend to use my little EK Success tweezers to hold everything. It just makes things easy for me. And there we go. So I don't know, is Halloween canceled wherever you guys are watching from? I'm not sure if ours is going to be canceled or not. But they've canceled the Santa parade. So, you know, I don't know. You'd think if they'd canceled the Santa parade, they would have canceled Halloween trick-or-treating. I don't know what's going on, so we'll have to see what's going to happen with that. So there we are. Now I'm just applying my last bat. Aren't those cute? Gotta love those. So now I'm going to show you my little boo-boo. So I was going to go ahead and use Nuvo Glow Drops in Banana Split. And I went ahead and I applied these to the card. Now, I didn't check in the dark to make sure that this tube was glowing. I'm not sure what happened. I don't know if it needed to get mixed up or what happened, but I applied like all these little dots all over the whole card. And I thought, this is going to be so cute. It'll glow in the dark. The little dots will glow in the dark. How cute is that, right? That was the plan. And I went with yellow because it kind of, it's kind of clear and I'll, see through and, you won't really notice it too much. And I thought, oh, this is perfect. So I've got to let this dry and then I'll come back and check to make sure that it glows in the dark. And you'll see what happens here. It was like, oh no. So I'm just adding my drops. And you know me, I love my Nuvo crystal drops. And you know what? I love my glow drops too. I use them all the time, but I haven't used this banana one, the banana split one in a long, long time. So I was just, let's just say surprised when they didn't glow. So there we are. So I loved how the card turned out. Everything was great. And look at, okay, so now they've dried. You can't really see them, right? Things are good. And then, I didn't even show you. Let's just say they did not glow. And I thought, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? So I had to go back and I'm using my apple sour Nuvo glow drops as those were glowing just sitting in the bottle. So they didn't get, unmixed or whatever you want to, they didn't settle, or I'm not sure what the reason for it was. But I took a little stir stick and went completely bonkers on that banana split one. And it's mostly glowing now. So I think that the glow stuff just kind of settled in the jar. But, learn from me. Check to make sure your bottle's glowing first, because then you'll know that the drops are going to glow. So now I'm just applying a little bit larger drops to cover the other drops. Now these are green. They do match the green on the actual Starry Nights paper, not too badly. I wasn't planning on bringing in a different color into this design, but green looks like that ectoplasm. It was an ectoplasm from Ghostbusters. The goo. So I don't mind the look of it. I think it turned out really cute, and it glows, and that's what I was going for, right? You want things to go the way you want them. So there we go. So now I've got all my little dots on there. I think I'm happy with the placement. Everything's great. And so now I'm going to show you what this looks like shortly. Now that it's going to be glowing in the dark for you. But there we go. So there's my card. And I'm like, oh, and look at the glow in the dark. It's perfect. Excellent. And I do another little glow in the dark in a second here. I went into my sauna in the dark and you saw it was glowing. So thank you so much for stopping by. And I hope you can make one of these fun cards for someone that you love this Halloween. You got to send out some fabulous Halloween cards using some Jaded Blossom products. So thank you so much for stopping by, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye, everyone.